Mm. We are now doing chapter 3. The title of this chapter is Karma Yoga. It has got 43 verses. In chapter 2, the guru and the disciple were introduced. Krishna and Arjuna, they are cousins, they are friends. They have been playing all the time together. But only when the student is ready, the teacher appears, they say. Arjuna was in verse 2, chapter 2.7, he surrendered to Krishna, said, teach me, I don't know, I want to learn. And 2.11 starts Bhagavad Gita. That is where Krishna starts advising Arjuna. He surrenders in 2.7 and Bhagavad Gita starts in 2.11. Now, as a king in chapter 2, Arjuna was a king and Krishna was a charioteer. He was a king, so he's a boss, right? But then he transforms himself into a humble student. So Krishna explains the inner presence, the Atma, and he confirms that it is never born and that it has no death. Therefore, the Atma of Brahm, and he says that the Atma of Bhishma and Drona is ever present. They don't die. So self-knowledge is the only way for a human to be relieved from grief. When someone is going through grief, it's a very powerful emotion. No words can console. You can take that person to a movie, to get ice cream, get a party, get clothes, beautiful saris. No, nothing will change because it's very powerful. Nothing in this universe can erase it except self-knowledge. Then Krishna introduced Karma Yoga. By performing all actions with Karma Yoga attitude, the mind gets purified, meaning the mind becomes calm and stable without any anxiety, agitation, unbiased, and equanimous. The man of steady wisdom, Stita Pragyan, was also mentioned in chapter 2 as Arjuna asked for the personality of the one who has performed Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and who is Jnana Nishta. Jnana Nishta means firm in that knowledge. His personality is described as one who is completely content within himself and does not require any external situation or another person to keep him happy. General public often would need an iPad or a computer or a companion or a phone to just to chat. We need some things outside of us to keep us entertain us. But for a jnani, he doesn't need anything from outside. I am happy from within at all times. Chapter 3 starts with Arjuna's question. In verse 1 and 2, Krishna, earlier you had mentioned about Jnana Yoga, self-inquiry, and said Jnana Yoga, self-inquiry, self-knowledge alone can enable a jiva to attain liberation, freedom from samsara, which is the cycle of birth and birth. You also mentioned Karma Yoga, which is do your duty. So, summary of verse 1 and 2. Arjuna was told earlier that he should not at any cost for no reason should ignore his duty. All actions, including fighting in the war as a warrior, should be performed with a karma yoga attitude. Arjuna's question is, if jnana yoga is better and takes one to self-realization, why should I even fight in the war? If I cannot attain self-knowledge by karma yoga, why do I even have to pursue this? I'm not clear in my understanding your point. If jnana or knowledge is superior to karma, then why should I pursue not karma yoga? I might as well directly go to jnana yoga. You praised one and you are asking me to do something else, second one. So verse 3, he's saying, I have created two lifestyles. Lifestyle, the Sanskrit word is nishta. I have created two lifestyles. One is family life, one is a worldly life. So, family life towards worldly life. And second one is sannyasa, a life of renunciation. Okay, so individuals can choose either one, either family life or sannyasa life. So, and this is applicable to the entire humanity. Always, all these things are applicable to the entire humanity. So, two lifestyles. One is the path of world. One is the path of renunciation. The path of world is pravritti marga. You are entering into the family situation. Okay, that is pravritti marga. And nivritti margam is you are coming out, renunciation. So the path of world is karma yoga, performing actions, duties, being in the family, accepting responsibilities in the family, in a society, services, contributions, volunteerism, all these things. That's what we are all doing. We are in the path of world, the karma yoga path. The path of renunciation is nivritti, which is hermit stage. That is um, that's one who has renounced all actions and is fully engrossed in spiritual path. That jnani is not even supposed to light a fire. He is supposed to eat only what he gets, bhiksha. So or he can eat fruits and vegetables. So both lifestyles has sadhanas, practices that needs to be followed, methodical discipline that needs to be followed. So two nishtas, that is two lifestyles, and he gives two different sadhanas, which is karma yoga and jnana yoga. The point is, either of these two lifestyles will give moksha. But it is not how you live, but it is how you operate in this world. What modality with which you operate. Only by performing both sadhanas, jnana yoga and karma yoga and jnana yoga, both practices, one can attain moksha. For a society to be stable, people need to perform karma yoga. The more selfish humans are, the result is more instability, imbalance of peace in a society, leading the society to disorder, degeneration, and decline. Those days, even now, there are few hostel-like environment they called as Gurukula, where kids, boys from 5 years onwards, they lived with the teacher. I know two recent families last year they put their son in Gurukula in Chennai. So and everybody is asking, why do you put him there? Why not put him in regular school? Because that's how people think. They think that is not helpful. So serving there, the children learn to serve the teacher, doing the chores there, whatever needs to be done. That is karma yoga. No money transaction. They perform activities there, and at the same time learn scriptures from the teacher, which is jnana yoga. So they get their basic needs are met: food, clothing, and shelter. But at the same time, they do the karma yoga and they get the jnana yoga, and then that is a path for liberation. Those who are in a family lifestyle, like all of us, performing karma yoga and jnana yoga, they are also in the path of liberation. At the same time, if an individual chooses to live this hermit lifestyle, sannyasa lifestyle, and does not perform karma yoga or jnana yoga, he does not attain moksha, liberation. Even though in appearance he may be a sannyasi, even though he may be living alone. So even though there are two lifestyles, performing both karma yoga and jnana yoga alone can lead one to liberation. That is Krishna's words. So whatever lifestyle one chooses, it is the attitude with which we live that makes a difference in attaining liberation. Now, who is qualified for karma yoga and who is qualified for jnana yoga? Whomsoever has impurities in the mind like fear, anger, worry, jealousy, likes and dislikes. I like this person, I do not like that person. They all need to perform karma yoga to purify the mind first. That is a pre-qualification for jnana yoga. We clean our cars with ultraviolet. We clean our body. We shower on a daily basis because everybody sees us. Everybody sees us, and we clean our home. But we never pause to clean our mind because nobody sees it. The dirt in the mind is nothing but how we think about other people in our lives, likes and dislikes, love and hatred, and all judgments about different people. In Vedanta, pure mind means minimize the attachment and hate, likes and dislikes. Any human with a negative mindset cannot pursue Jnana Yoga. With the negative thoughts in mind, any number of spiritual texts one reads, studies for any number of years, this will all be information for the intellect, and self-realization will not happen. So purity of the mind is the prime requirement. Likes and dislikes must be completely eliminated. Karma Yoga is a must to eliminate the impurity, dirt in the mind. Our mind is actually a dustbin, a trash can. We have to see that. We have to self-reflect. And only in spiritual path, you can self-reflect. How am I thinking? How am I talking? Otherwise, in any any actions, you don't do that. You just do the chores like a chore. So what is Jnana Yoga, spiritual path? Listening to scriptures, contemplating on what is heard, be convinced by clarifying doubts, be firm in that knowledge, practice what is grasped on a daily basis. Even to grasp, to understand, the mind needs to be pure and clear, without anxiety and agitation, without any preconceived notion. See, if you have some discussion with somebody just before this class, you had an argument or something, you don't come fully focused. Those thoughts will come in between. There's a disturbance, that anxiety will be there. Another example is if you have a mirror and you want to see yourself, the mirror needs to be stable. If it is shaking, you cannot see yourself, and if it is not clear, you cannot see yourself. So also our mind should be calm. Our mind is generally calm, but these thoughts come and disturb them. We are always in peace. That's why they say you are always in peace, but these thoughts come and disturb you, just like a small rock or some fruit falls down near the water body. The water is still, but one fruit falling, it will cause ripples. So is our mind.
இந்த லைட் அணைஞ்சிருமா பின்னாடி எழுந்து வரும்போது
எந்த லைட்
பின்னாடி லைட்
மீனா கொஞ்சம் மியூட் பண்ணிடுறீங்களா?
அது அணைஞ்சிருக்குமா நீங்க எழுந்திருக்கும் போது?
ஆமா எழுந்திருந்தோடனே கொஞ்ச நேரம் அணைஞ்சிரும்.
கொஞ்ச நாளைக்கு
Meena, could you make mute, please?
Sorry.
Whether in worldly life or in spiritual life, if the purity is low in our mind, Karma Yoga is the methodology, that is the path. And you alone know I alone know how my mind is. So you should not have even a single enemy in your life. Not even one. If there is one person that you don't like, that means your mind is not clear. So we want to keep observing that. So karma is action, yoga is practice. Karma yoga is a must. Therefore, perform all actions that you do with karma yoga attitude to purify your mind. Verse 4, what's the need for karma yoga? Every being is bound to perform actions. Not doing anything is not an action at all. If one has taken the body, actions are natural, normal, inevitable. That's how all beings are programmed since birth. You cannot renounce the performance of any action, but you should perform at the same time, renounce it in the mind. I am the doer to go away. I am not the doer, this body is functioning. I is Atman. Body, mind, senses are always active. Can't be quiet. You cannot sit silently. Inactive is not even an option. Performing physical activities all day, we all have done it. It is not difficult at all. You may feel exhausted at the end of the day, but it is not difficult. We have worked long hours, week after week, month after month, but sitting silently for 2 hours in a closed door without anything is a challenge because your mind will keep on going. So action is a natural condition of the human body. Krishna says in verse 5, do all actions with a pure mind. If you try to get out of your activities, he cautions. That is an escapism from duties. That could be counterproductive, causing harm to you. Inaction is not an option. Verse 3, line 2. Renunciation of anything has to happen in the mind. It is like homework time. Children are studying, and what we parents we do, we try to hide their magazines or toys so that they can focus. But they won't be able to focus. They will be sitting next to their homework book, but they will be thinking about the toys. So that is not that cannot happen, right? Mind is not neither doing this nor that. So those kids may not be playing, but they have the thought in their mind and often unable to focus on their studies. I had again my personal experience. I had a student in 1980s. Whenever I tutored for 20 years to children in the evening, and one of the kid was playing, and his mom said, "You are only going to be a server in our restaurant. You are not studying well." He was getting D's. So then I said, don't say that to your child. Every child is intelligent. Send him to me. I will tutor him. So next day he came. I said, what happened? What do you want? He said, I want to watch from Star Trek on TV. But my parents are not allowing. Those days, Star Trek was for 20 minutes TV program. And he's a young man from 10th grade, naturally interested in science. So I said, okay, in my house, you come and watch the TV. I'll let you watch it. And then you listen to what I say. Do the homework with me. He said, okay. And then he got 100% in mathematics, 95% in physics and chemistry. You have to go with that flow. You cannot suppress them. So the more they hide things, they are not going to do it because they'll do it because you said it, but nothing will sink in. So it is important to do this. It's a diabetic patients. They may not eat sugar items, but they will be thinking about it. Oh, that's jamun is nice. I would like to taste it, but I can't taste it. They'll be thinking about it. So similarly, of course, BP patients with salt. Verse 6, similarly, there are false yogis who have not done karma yoga, but mere change in appearance is very dangerous. And we also say politicians will try to capitalize on ignorant people by these pictures. Such individuals can fool the society, posing as a yogi, but they know in their heart that they are not true yogi because they have not renounced the worldly interests. Today, Vedanta is often used for name, fame, and money. This is not for sale. In one place, Krishna says, this is not for sale. You cannot charge fees for this. This is supposed to be given. Those days, Shankara did not ask for any fees, right? Everything is just he gave. So that is how it should be. Neither they have performed those yogis, false yogis, neither they have performed karma yoga nor they have developed a pure mind. Krishna says to Arjuna, Arjuna, you are not ready for jnana yoga. You need to purify your mind. Right now, you have the attachment, you are in grief and you are deluded, you are in a state of confusion between right and wrong. Had Arjuna had gone to solitude in pursuit of self-knowledge, he would not be focusing on Atman, but would be thinking of Bhishma, Drona, and all his enemies and just fuming. Until the mind is pure, without likes and dislikes, every individual must perform karma yoga. Now, verse 8, what is karma yoga? We start with the niyatam, a word which is do your duty. See, personal hygiene is your duty. Whatever needs to be done must be done, no choice, no option. Proper eating, proper resting, cleaning yourself, it's all your duties. You cannot not shower for 1 month. So no one, even not even a medical professional can do it for you. Your health and your wealth is in your hands. They can only guide you. When we don't do our duty, we dig our own holes. We are the product of our choices. That is why that is the difference between human being and animals. They act on instincts. I want to eat it, they'll go and grab it. We think, is it right to eat this? Should I eat this? Should I not eat this? We have the option to think and make a decision. So there is no merit or punya for performing your duties, but there is a papa demerit if you don't do it. Like an infant starts to think about an infant, starts to push the hands and then on the knees and sitting up and rocking back and forth or pushing oneself to on the stomach, try to crawl, then slowly stands up and walks and then runs. They have that evolution happening from crawling all the way to running. So they just can't not do it. Must be done for evolution, right? And at the same time, a child cannot keep crawling until 8 years old. It has to go to the next step, right? So do your duty for your evolution, but make sure that you don't overdo it. Like crawling for till 8 years old. You have to move on to the next stage. At every stage, humans have duties to be performed. Verse 9 to 13 Karma Yoga is referred to as Yajna. Yajna is offering to deities. See, we have Sanatana Dharma has only one God, Nirguna Brahman. All others are deities. We say people will ask you how many you have so many gods. We don't have so many gods. They are all expression of that one Nirguna Brahman. All others are deities. It's like a company. You have a company or a school, you have the principal, one principal. But all other department heads are all functioning. They're all part of the institution. Same thing. So Krishna says, do all the actions to the best of your ability without attachment, without expecting, focusing on the result or focusing on the results of the actions, enjoying the process. Then if you do that way, just keep on doing whatever you need to do on a daily basis. Don't expect anything. If you do that way, then the entire life is a yajna. So what is my duty? How do I know? How do I do it without attachment and without expecting any benefit? Your own mind, thought will guide you. Just like when you are hungry, nobody has to tell you that you are hungry, right? So if you feel guilty for something that not having done, that means that was your duty, you didn't do it. So that is the one thing that is inherently we all have it. So the mind is your guidance. That we say gut feeling, the inner intuition, right? And that will direct us to do what needs to be done. I always tell my children, again, don't do anything to please mom. You don't have to do that. Do if you think it is right, do it. If you think it is wrong, don't do it. That's it, simple. So we don't need to please anybody on this planet. If your heart says it is wrong, don't do it. Simple. So as parents, we keep telling the children even when they are in 30s and 40s and becomes then they think we are nagging them. So we want to be very careful in that one. So based on 4 ashrams, ashramam is stages of life. Everyone has specific duties. Brahmachari, a student life, a student. Grahasthan, a family person. Vyanaprasthan is today's terminology, a retired person. Sannyasi is renounced. So a brahmachari is a student's duty is to focus on learning, studying. Listen to and follow directions from parents and teachers. They should not get involved in politics or making money, income. Should not take on any responsibility. That is students' duties, according to scriptures. Family person is, this stage is not the end of human existence. Do your duty and then step back when your children are grown up. Humans generally tend to keep on working spending time with all the worldly attractions, and then finally, eventually die without even reading scriptures. So retired person is next one. One can be in the family and not involved in the day-to-day activities. Support the family as needed and step back to study scriptures. That's why I chose to live with my children, because I was living alone for 15 years. So there is no argument. Nobody is saying anything. I'm just a passive listener, watching TV, reading. That's it. So there is no conflict because there's nobody else is there at home. So then I decided to live with my children. So there are differences. When there are differences, there will be argument. That's when you see how you respond. Then that tells you whether you are evolving spiritually. You self-analyze. So it is that at that stage, you step back. Lot of things, it is their family, let them do it. I will help wherever needed. Otherwise, I'll step back. And then I'll focus on scriptures. That is the retired vanaprastha. Renunciation is sannyasa. Renounce all worldly possessions and live alone, isolated, with a single pointed focus on self-knowledge. Meaning, do not crave, long for, get the basic needs and you use the time for self-knowledge. So each stage has specific duties. So dharma in Sanskrit, that is your duty. Humans generally perform any and all actions only with a question of what is in it for me. Krishna is asking us to change that attitude. Karma yoga is not a separate additional activity. If you want to go to the temple, mosque, or church, you need to have additional effort. You have to put in additional effort or time, but karma yoga is the attitude with which we do our daily tasks. Whatever we do, doing them without expecting anything in return is karma yoga, because it must be done. We are happy to do some duties while we do not like to do certain other chores. Suppose a parent asks a teenager, 15 years old, hey, my sister has come with her 2 children. Can you take them to a movie? The 15-year-old say, oh, yeah, sure, I'll take them. And because he also likes to watch the movie. The same parent to the same teenager asks after 3 days, hey, I have a conference call tomorrow. I cannot take my mom to the clinic. Can you take her? He says, no, I have to study. I have homework, because he doesn't like that. So we all have likes and dislikes in every action. So karma yoga means you don't show your likes and dislikes in performing any action. Whether you like it or not, they must be done, and done without any grudge, with a cheerful attitude. This is the first point of karma yoga. No matter whether I like it or not, I will do it at any cost. I will not avoid, ignore, or give excuses. Anything and everything that we do must be done without likes and dislikes. Doing what must be done and liking it does not cause any conflicts. That's easy, but that does not always happen. Why would anyone do anything without a benefit? This statement should be clearly understood. Do all actions without any expectations. So parents' duty is to raise children with morals, values, principles, support them in education, and make them a productive citizen in the society. This is karma yoga. We have to stop there. Parenting is a karma yoga, because we don't expect. But then oftentimes we expect them to do something for us, right? So the children have the duty to support the parents when they are old. The children are benefited by parents' duty. The parents have a right to expect it. Duty always precedes right. We work and then we expect a paycheck. That is our right. The entire planet operates on duties and rights. A general public, common individual often thinks, I will do it if I get any benefit out of it. Krishna mentions here, do not expect that right. If others who have benefited from you do not pay you back, I will give you. You do your duty and I will give you the benefit. I will give you what you need when you need. He's emphasizing that. Again, my experience, when I finished my college degree, my father passed away when I was 14. Then my mother said, go and get the college degree. Because I was the first female in the family of my father's side and my mother's side. I got my degree. Then, when after my marriage, I was not allowed to work. Then I was feeling so frustrated. I studied for 4 years, got this degree. Those days, educating ladies, women were very, very rare. And my mother spent all the money. And now I'm sitting at home wasting my time. And I always pray and ask that question to God. I visualize God is always with me. And so when you say, you get the response. The immediate response was, you have a husband and you have 2 children. Do your duty. And when you need it, I will give you what you need at that time. Then I said, okay, let me do it. So I did not worry about the job at all. I was doing and took care of my children, took care of my husband. Then when he passed away, I got the job after 28 years of my graduation. So you get what you need when you need, and you don't expect children or somebody to give you. That is my experience. So always you will get whatever you need. Absolutely no doubt about it. So our attitude towards everything that we need to do must be, I will do whatever I'm supposed to do in whatever role I play, whether as an employer, as an employee, as a partner, son, daughter, parent, neighbor, friend, without expecting anything in return from this world. I will be simply perform my duty with the Karma Yoga attitude as an offering to divine. See, every time you do something, always think about it. This body is functioning because of the grace. I could be sick, in coma, but I'm able to perform things. Always have that gratitude in your mind. So when we do this, there is no hatred towards anyone. Only when we expect and we don't get it, it causes negative emotion and thereby likes and dislikes. Once we renounce that right, we become childlike, not childish, childlike. Children play, snatch from each other, and in 10 minutes you can see the same 2 children playing together. But as we grow older, we carry baggage. They don't carry vengeance or grudges or any negative emotions. But adults, as we grow older, we do that. They live in the present, we live either in the past or in the future. We are either feel guilty for what we have done, or we feel worried about what is going to happen in the future. The more we expect from others, the more enemies we have. Sometimes people borrow and they don't pay back. Sometimes you help and there is no gratitude. So leading to what happens when such things happen, these things leads to, I don't talk to my neighbor, we are not on the same page, we don't get along, we are not on the same wavelength, I don't visit them, I don't call them. This is all very common we hear. So the first step to Karma Yoga is just do your duty, renounce your right. This is the main reason for family conflicts. I did this to you, you didn't do that. You didn't call me for so long. So I'm not going to call you. Why not? Just text or today you can just text or call and say, I'm thinking of you. Hope everything is fine at that end. Just express that. So whatever we do will never go waste. Say in a family, there is a joint family, one person is earning or one person is cooking and cleaning, all others are not able to participate. The tangible visible benefit may be for others, but the invisible, which is mentioned as adrishta, invisible benefit is for the one who is performing it. It is important that if that person is stressed in a situation, have an open communication. That's also equally important. You don't have to keep on doing it, but when you are stressed, you need help, you voice it. I remember when I moved to this country 35 years ago, I was cooking, cleaning, doing everything, laundry, because there are no maids here, right? So everything was on me, and my husband was working, my children were in school. Then we used to have a weekly meeting. Every Friday night, all four of us would sit and talk. At that time, I said, I need help. I cannot do it all. I'm tired, exhausted. Then my husband said, okay, I will do this for you. I will do this laundry every week. I will take care of this. And then my daughter was saying, Mom, I had to study for my SAT exam. I don't have time to help you. But I will take care of my plate. I will eat and wash my plate. I will do this, my thing. So I said, okay. So unless you communicate your problems, the others don't know. So open conversation is important. So the Adrishtapalan is for the person who is contributing. So say we go for a walk, say example, we go for a walk and somebody is walking before me and then that person's wallet is dropped. What you do is you pick it up and give it. And that person is in a hurry and just picks it up and runs away. So immediate thought is, I picked it up and gave it to him. I could have kept it, but he didn't even say thank you because we expect that thank you. There's no gratitude. Then we are upset, we are angry, and we develop a dislike for that person. Then you don't want to help another person. See how the mind takes you away? So we expect a recognition for everything that we do. Always think that I am placed in a position to help somebody. That's it. If people, we hear, oh, I was the one who got her married. I was the one who educated him. I got him a job. No, you are in a position to help. That's all. So our attitudes, that attitude should come. That's what Krishna is saying. Verse 9 continues. The first benefit is for the person who does it with Karma Yoga attitude. When we perform with Karma Yoga attitude, there is no bondage, no likes and dislikes. You just do it because it must be done. That's all. Now, what does it mean to say bondage? It will escalate your likes and dislikes towards others. So what are the consequences when it escalates likes and dislikes? As we get older, our physical strength will go down, but our mental burden will keep on increasing. For every hate, say if you say 1 pound for one person whom I don't like, then if you have 10 people, then you have 10 pounds. So your body is weak when you are in 70s, 80s, 90s, but your mind is burdened. And if you do not have any likes and dislikes towards anyone, you are light-hearted, no stress. You can ask help from anybody. Again, I remember one of my family members he didn't like his daughter-in-law because he was higher and they were Iyengar. That's it, simple. He didn't like, he just didn't want to live with his son, only son. Wife passed away, only son. He didn't want to live. He lived outside, and some other man was helping them. He didn't even want to see the son. And he was in bed for more than 1.5 years. Just couldn't stand up and do it. Because why? Why that difference? We just say, okay, she is another young girl. Our mind takes us to, we dig our own holes. So positivity is very important. My mother used to tell me, you cannot climb Mount Everest with big baggage in your backpack. Go light. Because I used to go to school and come back. Oh, she said this, she said that, or something. She would say, don't do that. Leave it. My father used to say, don't go to bed when you're crying. I will argue with my brother and then I will cry and go to bed. He said, no, don't go to bed crying. So always watch your thoughts. Every day is a clean slate. Don't carry from baggage from yesterday and day before and last year. So I remember a couple again in California. They had a serious argument. Then after that argument, he went to a shower. And suddenly, somehow from the shower, he got shock and he passed away right there in the bathtub. And then wife was feeling guilty for a very long time. So if always be kind and compassionate, and you may have argument, but don't hurt anybody's feelings. What differences will be there? We cannot, any two person cannot be different. So again, my family priest who helped me in many family situations, my daughter's marriage and everything. Last August, he was just standing and talking to people. He's a temple priest, starting and then just fell down and passed away. He's got 2 wife and 2 children. So these things, Bhajagovindam says, Harate Nimeshta Kalam Sarvam. In a split second, things can change for you. Be kind and compassionate. You are only a co-passenger here. Don't carry anything. Krishna, that is the first one, Karma Yoga. Don't expect anything, just do your duty. Second point is, he says, he's saying about desired prompted actions. We all enjoy pleasurable things. In the beginning, it is okay to do it. Nothing is restricted, nothing is denied. Going to movies, concerts, get together, eating out, party, all these pleasures are allowed. Nothing is denied. First one is duty, perform your duty without expectation. Second one is kamya karma. Kamya means desired prompted actions. So what kind of attitude should you have for this desired prompted actions? We can expect the benefit, and when we get what we want, he suggests that you offer it to Almighty and accept it as a prasadam, as a gift from God, with a sense of gratitude. Then that becomes karma yoga. Nothing is prohibited in the initial stage. Different outfits, food, entertainments, all enjoyments are, but accept them as a gift. That is why we celebrate weddings, birthdays, home-warming ceremonies. We share with others. We want to share, oh, God has blessed me with this home. Please come and enjoy with me. That's, we are sharing it. But if you expect a gift from them, then that is not karma yoga, right? So that's another. The entire universe is bound by actions, and there are 3 different types of actions he's mentioning. One is grabbing. That is the lowest animals grab for survival. Might is right. Killing and eating tiger hunting deer chasing cat chasing rat, lizards with insects, because they do not use their intellect. They don't have the intellect to make a decision, right? So they just go on in instinct. That is, first one is grabbing. Second one is sharing. Sharing is generally humans. Grabbing is eliminated. We share with our other fellow members. That is sharing. Third one is offering our life for others. These live for others. They share everything with others. Such an attitude is referred as yajna. The life itself is yajna. Attitude of gratitude, always. So, attitude of gratitude or action that is performed as a personal sacrifice, service without expecting anything in return, and that is sacred and does not cause or create any bondage. Such individuals do not experience sufferings. For one who keeps on giving gets more and more, incapable of being depleted, bountiful. We call it Akshaya Patra. That is inexhaustible container, never depleting. So as much as possible, give whatever you can in the world. Like, it doesn't have to be financial support. It can be physical help. It can be words, nice words, supportive, kind, compassionate words. It can be anything that you can give. So I remember again, one of my colleague in the company was going through divorce, and he said, I need $500 for this case. So I wrote a check and gave it to him. He said, are you sure? I said, yeah, that's fine, take it. And then I went home that evening. I got a 500 check back from my mortgage company. They said, you overpaid it last year, so we are returning it. I didn't even expect it. So when you give with help, thinking, this must be done, that person needs it, give it, then you get back whatever you give. That is our karma. So giving, again, he is mentioning as 2 different things that we want to know. One is dana, one is dharma. Dana is donation, dharma is charity. Dana is giving to someone who asks for something. Can you please give me? When somebody is asking and you're giving, that is dana. When dharma is recognizing somebody's needs. Oh, that person probably needs this. Let me help that person. That is dharma. Karna was dharmavan. He was always giving people. So that is the difference. So all our worship, all our prayers are always answered. The deities, they always give you whatever you ask. Krishna emphasizes here that the attitude with which one should accept them, that makes a difference. The desired prompted action. Accept it as a gift from God, prasadam, share it with others. With this attitude of gratefulness and sharing with others without any negative action, that's also karma yoga. Verse 13. One should give more to the world than what one gets, or else one becomes, you are in debt. You are a sinner. Here you uses the word sinner, papi. We are all distributors. If you think about it, we own nothing. Everything may be in our name, all the legal documents, but we own nothing. We come into this planet empty-handed and leave empty-handed. Always share what you can when you can. Now the question is, how is my existence? Always ask, how is my existence helps this humanity? What is the point of my living here? So what am I contributing? There's a story about starfish that we can see in the slide. Actions by themselves, they are neither good nor bad. They don't cause punya or papa. Actions by themselves, any action. Yeah, but every action has a consequence, that's all. Success and failure is how you define it. When you get the expected result, you say, I'm successful. When you don't get the expected result, you say it's a failure. But whatever comes, accept it as a gift from Lord. Krishna says, even a single day without service, without sacrifice is a waste. Simple act is to just, I do this once in 3-4 months. Whenever I think of somebody who is living alone without any family member, I text them or call them, I talk to them, and they will be talking about that for a couple of months. They will be happy. Oh, she called me. And they will be talking about it for a couple of months. That gives them some happiness. That's all. You don't do anything. Hey, how are you? How is your health? How are everything? That's all you do. But that is the kind of, karma yoga. To sacrifice, to service actions are necessary. To sacrifice some actions is always necessary. These are referred as yajna, sacrifice. Sacrifice operates through reciprocity. Krishna prescribes 5 yajnas that oftentimes we follow. 5 yajnas are, one is deva yajna, prayers and worship. A sense of gratitude. Prayer is nothing but a sense of gratitude. Thank you, Lord, for giving me this good health, or giving me this family, giving me enough, a place to live, or two meals a day. That's all the prayer is. Not for asking. Keep on asking is not the prayer. That is a business transaction. I give you this, you give me that. So prayer, that is Deva Yajna. Rishi Yajna is Swadhyaya. That is, Swa means one's own self. Adhyaya is studying. Studying scriptures, chanting, bhajans, and all those things are Rishi Yajna. Pitru Yajna is, this body is because of our parents, our ancestors. So always think of them in a positive way. You never say you should have done, my father should have done that, should have done this. Don't do that, because with a given situation, they did their best. So that's how you should think. That is called Pitru Yajna. Then comes Nara Yajna, humans. People are hungry, some need shelter, volunteering, go and volunteer wherever it is, whatever way you can, pay for their education, meet the needs of other humans, at least even if you do it for one person, one another person. That's a Nara Yajna. Bhuta Yajna Bhuta means 5 elements. Feeding the other beings, animals, birds, and insects. That's Bhuta Yajna. Man and nature are interdependent, and we need to protect nature. and we'll see more in slides. If we keep on taking from nature, depletion is the consequence. We see that also nowadays happening. We need to live in harmony with nature. So Krishna says, you can enjoy all pleasures of life, but pay for it, give back, there is no free lunch. Because of human mindset to get something free, all businesses are capitalizing on that. Now you buy one, get one free. Buy two, get one free. So then people go and buy it even if they don't need it, they'll just spend it, right? So we are no longer called as customers, but we are called as consumers because we keep consuming again, more and more and more. So the taker cannot always keep on taking and the giver cannot always keep on giving. There should be a balance between the both in a society to function effectively. Verse 14, the entire universe is such, interdependent, interlinked. Too long we have overfed our ego at the expense of eco. Eco is environmental, eco-friendly is nature-friendly. Because it's always for me, what can I take? What can I take? That's a ego mindset. So all beings are from the food that the parents ate and we eat from childhood. This body cannot sustain without food. Food came from earth. The earth produced the food because of rain. Only when humans performed karma yoga, offering, sharing, daily sacrifices, there will be rain. Those days, sacrifices yajnas were performed for the benefit of entire humanity, yagas. The yagas, I'm doing temple architecture class. Those days, in 1st century, there were no temples at all. There were only yagashalas, where they performed yoga for the benefit of the humanity. Everybody should get rain. Everybody should be safe. Everybody should be disease free. That was the prayer, and that is called yaga. It was never about fulfilling an individual human need. Where does this yaga come from? From scriptures that teaches us how to live, what to do, and what not to do. When humans are selfish and choose to gain without their effort, there starts the downfall. Every gain has to have the corresponding effort. Think about a sparrow. Sparrow is on the top of the tree. It has to come down to get the grain that is just below the tree. It is not dropped inside the nest. It has to come down. So our effort, individual effort, is absolutely necessary. Our contribution to the society is absolutely necessary. So we need to live in harmony with nature. That is vital and that is must. Krishna addressed duty from different angles, act without expecting, act without expecting the right, and sacrifice that right to give back, enjoy all blessings, results of desired prompted actions with gratitude and sharing with others. Karma yoga is absolutely necessary and vital for the stable society. Benefits of karma yoga is the mind gets purified, likes and dislikes get erased. There is no comparison, competition, anger, jealousy. What is in it for me? I alone need to get this. And that attitude is dissolved. With the pure mind, one is able to discern, thus able to recognize the truth from appearance and qualifies for jnana yoga, leading to liberation from sorrows. Karma yoga is a stepping stone for jnana yoga. Verse 20. Until one is pure in heart, that is without likes and dislikes, unbiased, objective, and equanimous, and able to see the oneness in all, one has to perform karma yoga. And you alone know where you are. Suppose Arjuna says, I have the pure mind. Why not I pursue jnana yoga? I can renounce all actions and meditate. Suppose he says this, because Krishna forces this response. You are right in a way, he says, with a clear, pure mind, you can go to jnana yoga. But in your case, you have reached the pinnacle. You are a leader. Others are looking up to you. So you have to be the role model. People in higher respectable position, authorities, should always do karma yoga, cannot renounce actions. Parents, teachers, employers, reverends, priests, leaders, all these have are doing karma yoga. They should always do their actions not for the personal gain, but for the common good. Arjuna, you have a pure heart and mind. In spite of all, do your duty. And the word is universal good, loka sangraha. For the universal good, for the common good, do your duty. If the mind is not pure, do karma yoga to purify your mind. But if the mind is pure, do your karma yoga for the common good. Children at any age will only see what parents do. They will do what parents do, they will not do what parents say. If you can think about it, you can keep on saying it, but they will ignore. They will not even listen to you. They will hear you, but they will not listen to you. So they will do what you can do. I remember again, I bought a home in California in 2006 for $400,000. And then by 2008, the economy went down. By 2011, everything was 2010, all people around my house, everybody left their key and left. No, all houses were empty except my house. I was working, I was paying my mortgage. So some of the ladies who were sitting nearby, they used to come and tell me, why are you still here? Just leave the home and you don't have to pay the mortgage. I was paying 2,500 every month. You don't have to pay, just leave it. I said, no, that's not right because I have the income. My children will do what I do. I have to do the right thing. So I kept it until 2011. I sold it, bought it for 400, sold it for 125,000. I said, no, that's okay. But I don't have guilt. I did the right thing. It's not about the money. So sometimes we have to think about it in situations. So he says, your mind should always be pure. Do the right thing for the common good. So Arjuna, do your duty. I remember another incident in Chennai when I visited somebody's house. There was a phone call. Those days, it was a landline. The son, 10 years old, he goes and picks up the phone. Oh, this uncle, he mentions the name of the uncle. Then the father sitting there on the floor and reading a newspaper, he says, tell him that I'm not home. So the boy said, Dad is not home. We'll talk later. And then they hung up. Then I'm thinking, what is he teaching his son? To lie? Today he is saying this, and then the son will do the same thing to somebody else, right? So we have to always be conscious of what we are doing, how we are talking, to be aware of that. Those things we get only when we watch ourselves. King Janaka was in Ramayana. He was a realized one, and he did his duty until the end. He ruled and he governed the kingdom. He could have just gone away, but he did his duty. Verse 22, 23, Krishna says, takes his own example. Now he talked about Janaka. Now he takes about his own example. He says, I have no responsibility to do anything. Krishna is an avatar because Nirguna Brahman is the one God. Krishna has taken the form of a human being. He is an avatar. So he speaks as Nirguna Brahma. He says, I have no responsibility to do anything. I know who I am. I have nothing to gain by being a charioteer, but I will do it for Loka Sangraha, for people so that others can follow. They can also do their duty. Now, how do we know what is righteousness and what is unrighteousness? What is right and what is wrong? Vedas, Smriti, it tells you exactly what to do, and the Smritis are interpreted and it changes from generation to generation. Every yuga it changes depending on the situation. Follow the leaders, parents, teachers, examples may vary, but not the content. So we always do our duty at all times without expecting anything in return. Verse 28, as Atma, I am only a witness of all activities. I perform as a role model. We cannot blame our children, youngster, or next generation. It is how we conduct ourselves that counts. That's what he's saying. So Arjuna, for the benefit of others, for the right cause, for the righteousness, Dharma, do your duty. Verse 30, summary, the gist of Karma Yoga. Offer all your actions to me. Be firm that I will be with you always. I will give you what you need when you need. Do your actions without I-ness and minus, I and mine. There's because without because nothing is ours anyway. I didn't bring anything, and I'm not going to take anything. I'm just we are all co-passengers. That's all. So again, from my experience here, when I lost my husband and I started working at the age of 50 for the first time for a paycheck, my husband was, I mean, he was not dead. He was home alone. But my boss knew that he was having cancer. So you know what? My boss told me, Vijay, you come to work at 5 a.m., go home at 9 a.m. After 4 hours. Come back at 5 p.m., go back at 9 p.m. Morning and evening, your daughter is home. My daughter was in 10th standard, 10th grade. She is home. So during the daytime, you can spend time with him because he knew this is going to happen. How many bosses will tell you that? This is the divine, God-sent person who helped me at that time. I worked like that for 2 years. I would go in the morning, come back, spend the whole day with him, have lunch with him, and then evening I will leave. So God will always give you what you want, when you need. What you need, when you need. That complete surrender should be there in your mind. So do your duty based on any stage of your life, wherever you are. Whoever does their action with such an attitude will develop a pure mind and is getting ready to be liberated from the shackles of the struggles and sorrows. Those who do not, he is cautioning us, who are arrogant and egoistic, with I am the doer mindset, will be sinking in this ocean of birth and death, whirlpool of bondages. Arjuna asked the question, Krishna, no one intentionally chooses to do anything wrong, other make unrighteous act. These unrighteous acts are not desire-prompted actions. They know the consequences that they suffer, but they do it anyway. So if you ask a thief, why are you stealing? He will say, I know it is wrong, but I need to survive. That is a systemic change. The society should change, the government should change. That's a different issue. An alcoholic wants to stop drinking. That's it. I know it's a bad habit. I know it is bad for me, but I'm not able to stop this habit. It is as though there is some compulsion from within that is forcing them to do it. A short-tempered person knows that anger is not good, but he regrets later. So the question he's asking is, why do people do wrong things that is helpful to the individual's family, that is not helpful to individuals, families, friends, society? This is all self-destructive behavior. So Krishna says in verse 38, that is important. They are the likes and dislikes in you, desires, likes in your own mind that causes these things. It doesn't look like Krishna answered the question. Arjuna's question was without any desires. They don't have the desire, but they tend to do it. Krishna says desire is the cause. Let's analyze this one statement. Say one individual commits a misdeed or unrighteous action. He keeps repeating it, and it has become a habit to the extent that he doesn't even recognize that it is a wrongdoing. We say habits die wrong. He has no guilt. That has become his lifestyle. His mind wants to do something. The decision-making faculty, the intellect, has been influenced by, persuaded by, convinced by the mind. Thereby, the intellect goes with the mind. We say no, in Tamil we say buddhi ketti poche, in Hindi we say dimag kharab ho gaya. That is intellect. The intellect, the decision-making faculty is there that gets influenced by the mind. Thereby, the intellect goes with the mind, has lost its ability to assess the situation, analyze the situation, and instruct the mind, resulting in both the mind and intellect to proceed with that action that the mind has aspired to. We can see this in teenagers generally, but after some time they get back to normal. 16 to 19 is a difficult age because they go with friends all the time, not with parents or anybody elders. That's a stage. That's why we have to be careful during that time to express more love and care for them so they can come back. It's like a dog leash. You have to let the leash loose, let the dog go, and then it will automatically come back to you. That's how we have to deal. So when the intellect loses its capacity, one is deluded and he keeps doing whatever the mind wants to do. So very much like very much like taking a dog for a walk. I think I'm walking the dog, but now the dog is in fact is walking me and I'm following the dog. That's how it happens with mind and intellect. So some individuals, due to parental guidance, scripture studies, their intellect would direct them to know, they know exactly what is right and what is wrong. But the mind is not ready or capable or matured enough to accept the decision guidance taken by the intellect. And the mind often ignores the intellect and goes astray. Oftentimes you can see the intellect will say it is time to go to bed, you need that melatonin, go to bed at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. But the mind will say, let me watch a movie. And we'll sit. That means we are ignoring that intellect. This happens. This happens with IT people also. They work all night, they go to bed at 2 o'clock. So the mind takes them. I used to tell my son-in-law who is in IT also, just go to bed, sleep. You can wake up early at 4 o'clock and then do the work. So you are rejuvenated, you have enough energy. So mind has to be in our control. There's an example in a slide that says the chariot is mentioned as an example in Kathopanishad. Think about the chariot as a physical body. The intellect is the charioteer. The five senses are the horses, and the mind is the rein. The rein and horses should be in control of the intellect, of the charioteer. Otherwise, the mind will go wherever the horses go, whichever direction. That's why the horses have the blinkers, because they have to go in a particular way. And we can see that in the slide. So intellect is in sattva guna, meaning wise, objective, or doubts, analyzes, decides. Whereas the mind is still in rajoguna, that is very passion and activity. Now, what are gunas? Gunas are modes, tendencies, qualities, attributes, aptitudes of existence. Sattva is positivity, goodness, calmness, stable, objective, truth, balance, peaceful. All these are sattva guna. Rajoguna is activities with passion, desires. I want to accomplish this. I want to achieve this. Always running around something. That is type A personality, we call it. Don't know when to stop, when to rest. That is Rajoguna. Tamoguna is inactivity, dullness, lethargic, indifference, always try to be in the bed for longer hours, like 7, 8, 10 hours. Every human has all these qualities. That is how the entire universe operates. In the AM time, Sattva Guna. All day Rajoguna. We are running after this, do that, do that. At the end of the day, we are done, we are exhausted, we just come and sit in front of TV. Whether we watch it or not, whether that content goes in or we are just sitting. That is Tamoguna. People do not want to do wrong things as the intellect is in Sattva, but the mind is in Rajoguna and says differently. The doctor emphasizes on you have high A1C, don't eat sweets. But the patient intellectually understands it. His mind says, don't eat it. But I'm not going to eat. I'm not eating every day. Once in a while, it's okay. Mind convinces the intellect. Right? So that is one thing. The speed limit, which I have done it. The speed limit on highway in California is 65. I would drive at 75. Because my mind would say, you can go at 75, there's not much traffic. I don't know if suddenly there is a car comes and hits, but the mind convinces the intellect. The mind seeks for pleasures and ignores the intellect. That is why humans are the product of their own choices. Humans act on intuitions, animals act on instincts. Arjuna, the culprit is the desire in the mind. When you live with a karma yoga attitude, the desires automatically wither away. We can see some have taken wrong path, and then once they start studying, listening to this intellect, this the spiritual path, they changed their direction. You have seen that Valmiki was a robber. He was a robber, and then he changed spiritually. It happens to many people. Many jnanis have were in the wrong path, and they have come to the right one. Those are examples for us. What is the source of desires, senses, mind, and intellect? This prevents seeing the Atman, the inner presence, and deludes the Jiva. Verse 41, therefore, Arjuna, watch your senses, do not let them drag you to the outer world. Know that supreme presence which is beyond the senses, mind, and intellect, that which illumines these tools. Chapter 3, summary, karma is actions. All actions that are performed are karma. Yoga is practice. Use the same actions as the means for higher level of evolution. Chapter 3 started with Arjuna's question, if self-knowledge, jnana yoga is superior to karma yoga, why do you ask me to do karma yoga? Karma yoga is the first step, a stepping stones to jnana yoga. You can only go through elementary school to high school or college. You can't directly go. So every human must do karma yoga. All actions must be performed without expectation. Desired prompted actions are not prohibited. But when the results you get, whatever you get, take it as a gift from God and share it with others, which is referred to as Arpana Buddhi and Prasada Buddhi. Offering and accepting as a gift from God. So Dharma is do your duty with cheerful, positive attitude. Do not expect any result. Do it because it must be done. Enjoy those through the desired prompted actions, but accept the gifts as a gift from God. Share those benefits with others. Whatever you gain through individual efforts. There is no free lunch. Somebody is paying for it. Giving should always be greater than or equal to what you are getting. Otherwise, you are indebted to nature. Even when you have the purest mind, do your duty for the benefit of others, for the common good. Finally, remove all desires from, that is, cravings. Therefore, that multiplies cravings. Therefore, you that brings you back to the life cycle of the whirlpool of samsara. So with that, he ends chapter 3. We'll see the slides for a few minutes. This is chapter 3. We are starting. This is karma yoga. We do all this performing duties towards family and community, path of pravritti, and path of the world, that is pravritti. Karma yoga. These two are lifestyles. Then performing duties towards spiritual path, that is path of no return. You don't go back to family life. That is hermit's lifestyle. So both are lifestyles. Both karma yoga and jnana yoga lifestyles do not take one to moksha. Lifestyles do not take one to moksha, but only the attitude with which you perform. These are the children. We have seen this. They evolve slowly. They progress. You have to keep moving. Otherwise, you will never come to where you are today. You have to do this. You have to practice it. You have to face all these challenges. That's what karma yoga is. So the 3 types of karma yoga. One is the grabbing, sharing, and offering. Living beings survive in praying others. Might is right. Taking decreases and sharing increases. Then this is sacrificing for others, not seeking for oneself, contributing. The meritorious act without self-interest, service done with a sacrificial mind. All this is sacrifice. These actions are referred to as yajna. This is Akshaya Patra, inexhaustible vessel, never depleting. So share what you can, when you can, with what you can, and you will always get back. This is Karna, who was always contributing Dharma. He was referred to as Dharmavan. He always looked at people and then always contributed at one. And then Krishna, his chariot was caught when he was in a war. That is not very relevant here. But Krishna is asking for dana. Dana is something that you ask and you get it. So here you say, if you give knowing that there is a need, it is dharma. And in Dharma, there is Punya. So Karna had a lot of Punya because he was Dharmavan. If you are asked and you give, it is dana, donation. There is no punya for this. So Krishna, the punya, all the punyas that he had gained, all the adrishtapalan that was protecting him when he got caught here, and Krishna comes and asks for dana. When he was given, because he asked and he got it, all his punyas were dissolved in that dana. This is be in harmony with nature. Eyes can see the distant objects like stars. Ears, for ears to hear, it has to be less distant. That's why we hear thunder first before we see the lightning. We can smell, for smell, it has to be further closer. It cannot be at 5 miles away, right? To touch, it has to be still closer, maybe 2 feet away. For taste, it has to be inside. So each organ has its own function, and one organ cannot do the function of the other. So also all people, all beings on this universe. So these are Pandavas. They are all these are philosophical. They are representations of 5 elements. So Yudhishthira is Lord of Earth, Arjuna is Lord of Fire, Bhima is Lord of Air, Nakula is Lord of Water, and Sahadeva is Lord of Space. And Draupadi is a combination of all the fire. He came out of fire. This is just information, but from the philosophical point. From religious point, they are men. That's different. This is a story that I was talking about, starfish story. One day, a man was walking along the beach when he noticed a boy picking up something and gently throwing it into the ocean. Approaching the boy, the old man asked, "What are you doing?" The youth replied, "Throwing starfish back into the ocean. The surf is up and the tide is going out. If I don't throw them back, they will die." "Son," the man said, "don't you realize there are miles and miles of beach and hundreds of starfish? You can make a difference. You can't make a difference." After listening politely, the boy bent down, picked up one starfish, and threw it back in the surf. Then, smiling at the man, he said, "I made a difference for that one." That's all you are expected to do. Make a difference to one other person in your life. So, what is the purpose of my existence? What am I contributing to this world? Am I making a difference in somebody's life? Keep asking that question and do it. This is all Swadhyaya. Praying, meditating, reading, all these things are teaching others. All these things are Swadhyaya. This is Yajna, Yaga. Yaga is for the Yajna and Yaga is different. Yaga is for the global common good, for the global benefit. Let everybody die. These are 4 yajnas that we talked about: Deva Yajna, Rishi Yajna, Pitru Yajna, Nara Yajna, and Bhuta Yajna. Remember, we used to do this Rangoli in India for the significance of why do we do this? In 1964, when Indo-Pak war was there, my mother used to get 2 kilos of rice for the whole family for whole month. My mother would take 1 cup of rice, grind it in the blender, keep it rice to make this. She'll say, only with rice flour you should do the rangoli. Even if you just do 2 lines on each side, that's fine. 10 ants will come and eat and go. That is your bhuta yajna. You are feeding some few ants. That is a significance. So that's why we do it. And it has art of rangoli with a different powder is different. That is art. But this is rice flour is for feeding some beings, and the same Atma is in that is in this body also. So that is the significance of Bhuta. Yeah? So we used to offer food for the crow, and we used to offer those days with dogs at night. Those days we had a single family homes everywhere. Nowadays it's a flat, so you don't have those things. And I used to do this in Boston. I used to feed the birds. Every day I'll go and put it in there, and hundreds of birds will come and eat it. We are not living with nature. Human nature are interdependent, complementary, integrative. See, look at that, the river pollution. Look, we can see the river pollution, soil excavation. This soil is all sold for money. deforestation, so less oxygen in the world. So we destroy our own society. This is Gurukula, where children were learning. The teacher talks about Atmajnana. This is Veda Parayana. They are learning how to chant. So it is coexistence. Either it is coexistence or no existence. Finally, destruction. Here is a book. Can humans and nature coexist? It's a good book to read. So do the best you can with what you can. This is King Janaka, who was a realist person, but he also did his duty as a governing. And this is Krishna as a charioteer. He's talking about, I don't have to do it, but I do it as role model. These are, these are our Gurujis from different places, Govardhana Math, Jyotirmath, Singeri Math, and Dwaraka Math, same thing here. They all do their duties, prayer, meditation, all those things, they are doing it for Loka Sangraha. Surrender all action unto me with a firm determination, without expecting anything in return, and do your duty, says Krishna. तुम अपना कर्तव्य करो. Krishna's response in Katha Upanishad. This is the whole chariot is a body. Know that the Atman is the Lord. That is the Atman in each body. Know the intellect is the driver. Know the minds are the reins and the horses are the senses. Think positive. Do not allow negative thoughts about anyone or any situation. You become what you think about. All your thoughts are the ones that are covering it. Just like the fire is covered by smoke, a mirror is masked by dust, an embryo is concealed by the womb. Similarly, one's knowledge gets covered by desire. This is my experience. I tried this 2 years ago at the age of 75, 76, and I have faced this because my mind wanted to do this. My intellect says, no, you're old enough, you cannot do it. My mind says, no, I want to try. I tried it, and I was in emergency room that day. Mind is the enemy. Listen to your intellect, intuition. Do not blindly follow the mind. Listen to your intellect again. As people, we all have different responsibilities, duties, commitment, challenges. We are surrounded by all those. But whatever you do as a karma yoga attitude. When you are done everything you can do, that's when God will step in and do what you cannot do. Always. That sparrow, little sparrow, has to come down to get the food for the kids, right? Knowing that the Atma is above the intellect, five senses, eliminate the mind full of desires. This is the summary of Karma Yoga. Karma is actions, yoga is practice. If self-knowledge, jnana yoga is superior to karma yoga, why do you ask me to do karma yoga? Karma yoga is the first step. Every human must do it. All actions must be performed without expectations. Desire-prompted actions are not prohibited, but when the results come, take them as gift from God and share with others. This is referred as arpana buddhi and prasada buddhi. So dharma is doing your duty because it must be done. Gain only through your efforts only, even if you have a pure mind, perform for loka sangraha, for common good. Remove all cravings that can bring you back to the cycle of birth and death. With that, we complete chapter 3. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.